We live in an age of abundance, a world where there are 200 kinds of breakfast cereal, thousands of movies on demand, and an endless scroll of choices in the palm of your hand. Freedom, we're told, is about having options. But what if the very thing that promises happiness is also stealing it away? This is the paradox of choice. Why having more leaves us with less. Think about the last time you opened your fridge, stared at shelves full of food, and still felt like there was nothing to eat. Or the endless scroll through Netflix, where you spend 40 minutes searching for the perfect show, only to give up and watch nothing. These are small examples, but they capture something deeper, the hidden weight of too much freedom. Philosophers and psychologists alike have long debated this question. Is more always better? In economics, classical theory says yes. The more options consumers have, the better off they are. But human psychology tells a different story. We are not rational calculators. We are emotional, easily overwhelmed beings. And when faced with endless choices, our brains often crumble under the weight of freedom. We've been conditioned to believe that choice equals freedom. After all, who wouldn't want options? More restaurants mean better food. More products mean better value. More dating profiles mean a better chance at love. And at first, choice is seductive. The first time you walk into a mega supermarket with 30 aisles, it feels like Wonderland. The first time you download a dating app and see hundreds of profiles, it feels like possibility. We equate abundance with opportunity, and opportunity with happiness. But here's the catch. When the number of options explodes, freedom turns into a burden. The simple act of choosing becomes overwhelming. Psychologists call this decision fatigue. Studies show that judges are more likely to deny parole in the late afternoon, not because the prisoners are more dangerous, but because the judges are exhausted by too many decisions. When we're tired, we default to the safest option. In their case, keeping someone locked up. In ours, leaving the shopping cart empty, or sticking with the same Netflix show we've rewatched 10 times. Choice seduces us into thinking we're in control, but in reality, the more options we have, the less control we feel. When options multiply, so does the pressure to make the perfect choice. If there are 50 pairs of jeans in the store, shouldn't you be able to find the perfect one? If there are thousands of movies to watch, shouldn't your Friday night be unforgettable? If there are countless partners on dating apps, shouldn't you be able to find a flawless soulmate? This creates a tyranny, not of scarcity, but of perfection. Instead of enjoying what we choose, we obsess over what we didn't. The 49 pairs of jeans left behind become ghosts whispering, maybe there was one better. Barry Schwartz, the psychologist who popularized the paradox of choice, calls this the curse of maximizers versus satisficers. Maximizers are those who need the absolute best. They analyze every review, every option, every possibility. And though they often end up with objectively better choices, they feel worse about them. Satisficers, on the other hand, pick something that is good enough and move on. They are, ironically, happier. The tyranny of the perfect decision leaves us restless. It steals the joy of being present. And in that moment, satisfaction crumbles into regret. In a famous study, researchers set up 2 displays in a grocery store. One table had 24 different jams, another had just 6. Shoppers were drawn to the bigger display. More options felt exciting. But here's the twist. People were 10 times more likely to actually buy jam from the smaller display. Too many options made them freeze. And even when they did choose, they were less satisfied. This experiment has been repeated with chocolates, investments, even retirement savings plans. When employees were given dozens of options for 401k contributions, participation dropped. People didn't choose freedom, they chose avoidance. Neurologically, this makes sense. The prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that manages complex decisions, can only juggle so much information. Overload leads to paralysis. It's why we procrastinate on big choices, careers, relationships, major purchases, and distract ourselves with smaller, meaningless decisions. Think about your own day. How much time do you spend choosing? Choosing clothes, choosing meals, choosing which emails to open, which app to tap, which notification to answer. The average person makes over 35,000 decisions a day. And here's the problem. The brain doesn't distinguish between a big decision and a small one. Whether it's choosing a career or a sandwich, the toll is real. By evening, you feel drained, even if all you did was scroll through options. This is why some leaders, like Steve Jobs or Barack Obama, wore the same outfit every day. Not because they lacked taste, but because they understood the power of conserving decision-making energy for what truly mattered. Choice overload doesn't just waste time, it steals joy. Studies show that when people are faced with more options, they often feel less happy with their final decision. Even when the outcome is good, regret whispers, "What if there was something better?" This is amplified in the digital age. Online dating apps promise endless matches, but often leave users lonelier. Streaming platforms offer infinite shows, but leave viewers dissatisfied. Shopping sites bombard us with recommendations, but leave us with regret. In a strange way, too much choice makes us less grateful for what we have and more haunted by what we might have missed. But here's the hopeful part. The answer isn't to abandon choice, but to reclaim it, to be intentional, to simplify. Some of the happiest people practice satisficing, choosing something that meets their needs without exhausting themselves in pursuit of perfection. They focus on good enough, not flawless. Minimalism, mindfulness, capsule wardrobes, digital detoxes, these are not fads. They are responses to the burden of abundance. By limiting choices, people free themselves from the endless loop of regret and second-guessing. Choosing less means choosing better, and choosing better means living more fully. So next time you're overwhelmed by options, remember this: abundance doesn't always lead to happiness. Sometimes, less truly is more. Life isn't measured by the number of paths we could have taken, but by the one we choose and how fully we walk it. The paradox of choice teaches us that happiness isn't found in endless aisles or infinite scrolls. It's found in the courage to choose, to commit, and to find meaning in the simplicity of what we already have. Perhaps freedom is not the power to choose endlessly, but the wisdom to choose wisely.